Hi there, I'm Tom Chilton. I'm the game director for World of Warcraft.
So Tom, you're showing Legion here today. Tell us about what's going on story-wise behind Legion.
Well, story-wise, the Burning Legion is invading Azeroth for the third time, and really the first time in the current era of Warcraft. And so players are going to band together between the Alliance and Horde and take them on and try to save Azeroth.
So in World of Jaina is very ambitious because you'd be dealing with time travel. Now, as you know, time travel is a finicky little pickle. So is Illidan alive in Legion? Is he dead? Is it somebody else?
Illidan is still dead at the moment, and we've seen that Gul'dan is very interested in the remains of Illidan, and so there are things that are going to carry forward that storyline all through the expansion. But it is important to remember that this is the current timeline Illidan who is deceased, and so yet his body and his kind of soul still have immeasurable power attached to them, and there's a reason that Gul'dan wants to get his remains and do something with that, something nefarious.
It's been a long time since we've seen demon hunters make an appearance in Warcraft, especially World of Warcraft. How does the world react to demon hunters? Are they welcoming? Are they uneasy?
Right. Right after you get through your starting experience as a demon hunter, one of the first things that we do is kind of integrate you into the Alliance and Horde. Players might remember how we did that with the Death Knights, right? And you came into Orgrimmar or Stormwind, and the citizens would kind of hiss at you and stuff like that. It won't be quite the same reception for demon hunters because people don't feel the same way about demon hunters. They do kind of feel a little anxious about demon hunters because these guys are using fell magic to do stuff, and that's kind of dicey. But at the same time, they know, hey, the Burning Legion's here. We need these guys to help fight against the Burning Legion. So that integration happens and goes pretty smoothly.
So the people who have probably the most personal, closest relationship to the demon hunters is the Night Elves. Mm-hmm. So how does Tyrandil and Malfurion feel about them coming back?
Right. Well, certainly they believe it's a necessary evil, just like the Wardens do. And really, it's the Wardens that have released the demon hunters from their prison in the Vault of the Wardens in order to help battle against the Legion. I think really everybody, at that kind of high level of leadership just views it as a necessary evil. There just really isn't an alternative.
So we saw a glorious cinematic for Legion, which was awesome because Varian's one of my favorite characters, and that's why I go Alliance all the way. Yep. But he's actually he's worked with Horde uneasily a lot of times, but it feels like the final time he's actually accepted their help and actually is looking forward to working with Sylvanas especially, who's the queen of the Banshees. So talk about what Varian's going through right now. Where's Vojin in all this as well?
Right. So Varian and Vol'jin are all part of this assault, and so you'll see Vol'jin as you're playing through as the Horde, and all the other Horde leaders, and of course you're going to see a bunch of Alliance leaders that you may not have seen for a while. We've got Genn Greymane involved. There are a whole bunch of other caster characters that players know about but kind of haven't seen for a while because of the Warlords timeline. So it'll be really fun for players to be able to kind of experience that. You'll see how the tensions sort of work out during the Broken Shore invasion. There's a lot of story to be told there.
So in Mr. Pandaria, Anduin was the one who got shipwrecked and lost, and you had to kind of travel alongside him and experience his journey. In this case, will it be Sylvanas and Varian's turn?
It certainly is that they're going to be in the spotlight. There are going to be other characters that play in very meaningfully, kind of as I referred to, but really it's the entirety of the Alliance and Horde that are going to be kind of in the spotlight.
Who's running Stormwind right now with Varian at war?
Well, Anduin presumably, and that's why he was writing the letter back to him.
So another thing, a lot of speculation with the community is that Jaina is starting to lose it a little bit, and a lot of what the Alliance are famous for are heroes losing it. Do you have anything to comment about that? Because she seems a little bit more skeptical, a little more distrusting, a little more aggressive than she's ever been in any past Warcraft lore.
Yeah, she's very frustrated with the way that the Alliance has kind of not taken it to the Horde. And she has very different opinions from the current leadership as to how they should approach the Horde. I wouldn't say that she's losing it in that she's not going crazy or anything like that. She's definitely still very much has all of her faculties. But she is growing frustrated with the Alliance leadership, and there are a lot of different ways that could happen. I
So-
mean, that could resolve.
It's because their hair is changing color, and if Warcraft has taught me anything, is that whenever their hair color changes, it's never a good thing.
Well, we don't expect her to turn evil or something like that at the moment, but certainly she's angry.
So, where's Thrall in all of this?
Well, Thrall is really kind of trying to work out what went wrong with Garrosh and really trying to understand, how he took the Horde down such a dark path. And so he's kind of got a lot of internalizing to do, questions for himself about his leadership and the way that he's done things. And we'll see how that sorts itself out.
Well, there'll be a lot of in the Legion world, overworld, but there'll be a lot of Horde and Alliance working together, or it'll be kind of still the the old grudges, old grudges
Right.
die hard type of thing.
Right. Well, certainly old grudges die hard, and while they will be working together for the Broken Shore, for that invasion, we'll see how things can sometimes go awry.
Will there be any special quests or storylines for specifically Warlocks in Legion?
Well, certainly there are quests for every single class as part of getting their artifact. In fact, there are different arcs for each different artifact weapon. So each spec in the game has its own artifact weapon, and so you'll be able to experience that for your class, and then later on you'll be able to go back and do it for the other artifacts too, because you can in fact have all the different artifacts for your class.
So, since Gul'dan is now in our time period, back from the past, back to the future, essentially, what is he up to right now? Like you said, he's trying to get
Right.
Illidan's remains. Are people aware that he's in Azeroth right now, or no?
Yes, they are, as a matter of fact, because you do encounter him in the Vault of the Wardens, and so as a demon hunter, and so players obviously have seen the cinematic where he is interested in Illidan's remains. When you play through the Vault of the Wardens, you actually see him kind of go off with those remains, and then that storyline will play out throughout the expansion, what he does with that and what ends up happening.
So we already in the Demon Hunter Zone. We're in Outland. Will we be also returning to Outland from the Legion Isle as well?
Right. There are kind of momentary story interludes where we sort of refer to your demon hunter in Outland, because essentially when you first start your demon hunter, you are in a cinematic getting your orders from Illidan to be sent to Mardum. You experience the Mardum world, and then once you get the Sargarite Keystone, you come back to the Black Temple, and you kind of see what happens from there. Seeing as though you next wake up in the when you're sort of brought back to life or sort of brought out of stasis by the Wardens in the Vault of the Wardens, you can sort of imagine that what happened when you came back to the Black Temple isn't exactly what you had planned.
And so when can people experience Warcraft Legion?
Well, they'll be experiencing it in the summer of 2016.